everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Across America Good News Edition. My name is Pilar Arias. I am so very happy to be here with you, and that's because we get to talk about those heartwarming stories that get you thinking about them all throughout the weekend and into next week as well. So what do we have on tap? A couple pet rescues, unique sports stories. I'm talking about we are heading to the virtual world, and one man making his job as bright as possible, and that's exactly where we are going to start. In Illinois, where a postal worker had videos of him singing go viral, and now he happens to have a new ride. Let's take a listen.
What Levante Harvey didn't know when he walked up to one of the homes on this block is that the woman who lives there lost her husband of more than 50 years not long ago. But what he did next was about to change both of their lives.
Not of a mean, not of a money, and certainly not of a petty energy.
I had just got on this route. This is my first time on this route.
Boom, boom, boom.
And all it took was seconds for this 23-year-old to capture the attention and the heart of one grandma.
She started sending me more videos. Everybody was it just fulfilled her. She was laughing, smiling, and it's good, just to see her happy.
Whitney Cumbo taking to social media to find the mystery man.
Hey there, y'all.
It meant a lot to me, and I felt it through the video. Like when he was singing, I'm like, you can sing. Like, yes.
It's so quiet outside, so I need something to keep moving, so I do it every time without even knowing that I'm being recorded.
This for you, Grandma. Traded in the lazy days I used to lay.
It didn't take long before the video reached Harvey and millions of viewers who had a front row seat to a friendship formed through the lens of a doorbell camera.
Deep inside, I'm just pretending.
For the first time.
Hey, Granny.
Granny, this is Levante.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
No door or piece of technology between Harvey and Grandma Wanda. Only a hug carrying more meaning than lyrics could portray.
Just thought it was cute.
It's an overwhelming feeling because it's like now I'm here and it's like I'm a part of the family now.
As this all started, Harvey was quietly facing a struggle of his own. It was taking about 2.5 hours by bus and train to get to and from work. And despite that, he showed up with a smile and a song.
Finding you and finding me.
Cumbo shared a GoFundMe.
Someone special.
I loved it that he did it for free, and he did not expect anything.
But fellow Chicagoans and strangers wanted to make the next delivery, raising enough money to pay forward the joy he's given to so many others.
I'm missing you in Mississippi.
Within 24 hours, my life did a complete 360, and I can be anything but more grateful than that.
You and me. Happy early birthday.
Harvey has only been a letter carrier for about 5 months, and he says he can't wait to see what the future brings. He's also planning to shut down that fundraiser after so many people donated to help get him his new car. In the Austin neighborhood, I'm Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
I like to sing, but I am not that talented. But if you've ever wondered, the good stuff that comes out of social media, that story for sure is one of them. Here next on Across America Good News Edition, a terrifying moment followed by an act of heroism on a highway in Missouri. And it was all caught on camera.
Get him out, get him out, get him out. Get him, son.
Once I heard it was kids, I heard kids. I didn't know how many kids there were, but I just heard kids, so I'm just like, we gotta get them kids out of there.
These are the moments as Chris Randolph and his mother, Glenda Randolph, were driving on Wednesday here on I-670 when they couldn't help but notice a car in distress.
I see the traffic stopping, so I'm getting ready to go all the way to the right. I see something over here.
Son, get him out.
Without hesitation, his mother tells him to stop. He jumps out of the car and runs over to help, at one point physically jumping on the car.
This guy right here is the guy that pushes the seat back.
This is video Glenda Randolph took as she prayed while this all played out. And then Chris found out that there was a child in the car.
It's a baby? Oh, Lord.
When you realized that there was a little girl in there, how did that affect your mindset?
To move faster, because not knowing what was going to happen in the situation.
Move faster is exactly what they did. Not only was the child pinned inside, according to Chris, the mom was also pinned because of how the car crashed, with her foot stuck on the gas pedal. And finally, with the help of the group, they were able to get the little girl out, and soon after they managed to get her mother out as well.
Have mercy, Jesus.
But stopping for the Randolphs wasn't just a choice. They believed they had to. Glenda lost her husband, Chris's dad, in a car accident in 2012 after he was hit by a drunk driver.
You know, we lost our father in a car crash, and you know, I just wanted one thing. It's just like I wish somebody was there to grab him.
Highway, you know, I know what it's like to lose someone on the highway. If you see somebody in distress, help, because you never know. It may be you, it may be your loved one day, and you could possibly save a life.
You could possibly save a life, indeed. What an impactful story there. We are going to head out west for this next story on Across America Good News Edition, where a jewelry store employee risked her own life to stop an armed robber from taking off with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. Now, police are hoping that somebody recognizes this person and can turn him in before he strikes again.
The brave employee you're about to see in this incredible surveillance footage is also the sister of the shop owner. He is in shock that she took such a risk. It was just another day at the Fast Fix jewelry and watch repair shop at the Montclair Place Mall on Thursday, February 12th, shortly after 7:30 p.m. That's until a man pretending to browse around the store walked out, walked back in, and then charged behind the counter, brandishing a handgun and also a stun gun at the female employee, demanding diamond rings and fine jewelry and telling her to keep quiet. But this armed robber underestimated his victim. Instead of surrendering and backing away immediately, she puts up one hell of a fight, seemingly unfazed by the weapons pointed right at her at close range. The brave woman appears to take a boxing stance at times, rushing the thug and struggling with him, even as he smashes the display case with his stun gun in his determination to snatch pricey merchandise before making an escape. Despite the scuffle, he got away with precious gems. The determined sales clerk is the sister of the shop owner. This is a family business, their baby. You put up a fight. You even looked like you were like this at one point. What was going through your mind?
I was scared, but I see, like, I'm gonna do something, just, I'm gonna help by myself or something, and I start laughing, and then he start touch me, with my legs, and he run, and the security come in, and he run all the merchandise in floor, the glass all in the floor. Yes.
You were never scared for your life?
I scared so much. Yes.
But you still fought.
Yes. I scared so much. It's so bad for me,
But we never faced in this amount of aggression that we have faced, to be honest, Normally, she's really kind of a scared person. She's not that type of person that she could fight with it.
But she did and has bruises as battle scars. The family tells us the gunman cut himself when he smashed the case, leaving blood evidence at the scene. The victims believe the attacker is roughly 45 to 55 years old, Hispanic, darker skinned, speaking broken English. He was wearing a cap, glasses, a face mask, and a dark, heavy jacket with large pockets. Anyone with information should contact Montclair Police. Reporting in Montclair, Chris Wolfe, KTLA 5 News.
Hopefully they can find that man for sure so that he doesn't risk injuring anybody else or taking people's merchandise. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here on Across America Good News Edition. Don't you go anywhere. I love hosting this show, and that's because we get to talk about a variety of stories. Well, next, we're going to be going to the sports world, and I'm not just talking about, physical sports. I'm talking the electronic world as well. We'll be right back. Well, some students in Illinois, they spent last weekend competing in the world of esports, a competition. Let's get the latest.
Nearly 30 high schools from across Illinois gathered in Peoria at the Renaissance Coliseum at Bradley University for the Illinois High School Esports Association Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Invitational. The event serves as the final qualifying tournament before the IHSEA State Championship. Around 250 students competed in both solo brackets and 5-on-5 crew battles, all hoping to secure one of the final spots at state.
It's a lot of fun. So far, I've won both of my matches. and hoping to win more.
For many students, this was not their first IHSEA competition. One organizer said esports is about much more than just playing a game.
It's about developing character, resilience, but with esports too, there's a strategy point to it where you have to think about pathways to success, to think strategically, and then execute your strategy, which is really important. And so for us, we want the kids to come and compete first and foremost. For the teams, we want them to have that bond. They come, they play with their team, they make memories, and that's the big thing.
Ryan Tam, one of the competitors, said the event is both competitive and fun. He says one of the biggest draws is playing against an opponent face-to-face.
Playing in person is more fun because you can actually talk to them and see what they're doing. And also, I feel like I play better in person.
Top finishers will advance to the IHSEA State Championship on March 8th. In Peoria, Jack BOZIKIS, WMBD News.
That is certainly cool and becoming a lot more popular, let me tell you, especially with the preteens and the teenagers. Okay, well, as most of you know, the NASCAR season kicked off last weekend with the Daytona 500. But one man in Michigan, he never quite takes a break from his love for racing.
A new NASCAR season begins on the high banks of Daytona International Speedway this weekend.
I try to make a detail everywhere you look.
But for Steve Lester, it's always race weekend.
There's always something that I'm working on.
As a lifelong race fan with an eye for building and design, creating Barron Speedway in the basement of his Kentwood home was a dream project years in the making.
I knew from a young age that once I graduated, got a job and all that I wanted to create a diorama that'll be like, model railroading, but with race cars.
Named after Penn State's Barron campus in Erie, Pennsylvania, where he met his wife, the 164 scale racetrack has school spirit.
And that would explain the blue and white theme.
Yeah.
Around each turn, through the infield, in the grandstands, there's always a new detail to be found. More are being added all the time.
If I'm at the race or if I'm watching on TV or they're filming from a certain area, I'm like, oh, I can make that, or let's try to bring that on the track.
One of his latest builds is a replica of NBC's Peacock Pit Box, complete with extraordinary detail.
I made sure to have Jeff Gordon's 2015 Martinsville win as the highlight video because they have a screen on the bottom.
The building of the Speedway is an ongoing journey, one he documents on an Instagram page created to share his passion with others.
Everywhere on the track, I just have little tidbits of details that I really, if people are coming to see or see online, I just want them to be like, wow, there's something else I hadn't noticed before.
One of his latest undertakings has been creating replicas of the same late model cars you see on the track at Berlin Raceway on a Saturday night. That includes the 47 car of Brian Campbell. The track's online presence has attracted thousands of followers from around the country.
It's been a whole lot more than I could have imagined. A lot of people interested from the diecast community, NASCAR community, some people who were nostalgic for playing with their cars growing up, all the way to people within NASCAR itself, drivers, teams, stuff like that.
As a father of young children, it would be easy to keep the kids away from the track he's worked so hard to build. But for Steve, it's an opportunity to turn childhood nostalgia into new memories.
It's going to be really cool now that my kids are getting older, that they're engaging, they're watching, they're following, and it's something I get to share with them that I liked as a kid.
From the model track he's built to the playmats he's begun selling online, his passion for design and his love for racing drives it all.
It's a great separation from what I do as a job. It's an artistic outlet that I can work with my hands, I can think creatively, and it's been a lot of fun.
Find a hobby and run with it. That's all I got to say. I have at least 2 sons myself who would absolutely adore that racetrack for sure. All right, well, this next story, one man says that axe throwing is his escape, and now he's competing to make his way to the World Championship.
It's almost like having a third family at this point.
What started as a hobby to help take his mind off the military?
I got started throwing axes and knives when I came back from my second deployment. It was just a way to kind of relieve some stress and have some fun.
Has turned into a passion for Trace Baylitz.
I got into it pretty well, and there was a couple of my buddies that came out to that same venue that I threw out of, and they told me that I should come down to Nashville to compete with them.
The 23-year-old has been throwing competitively for a little over a year now, and during this time, he says he's found a sense of belonging.
The community itself is really inclusive. You have a lot of people that have a lot of similar backgrounds. And so it's just a nice shared love for the sport.
It may be his favorite part of the sport, but Baylitz is not just there for the camaraderie. He recently qualified for the Axe and Knife Throwing Championships in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
This has been a dream for me to compete at Worlds. I've been trying all year to improve on my throwing and just kind of get that spot.
While his hard work has gotten him this far, Baylitz needs help making it to Tulsa. So he started a GoFundMe to help cover expenses so he can focus on training.
Any amount of donations supports me a lot, whether it's $1, whether it's 50. I'm appreciative of anything that you guys decide to give me and help out.
Baylitz says Colorado Springs has been there for him before.
The community's been great. When I moved here, I was coming off of a pretty rough deployment, so it was nice to have a lot of outdoors things to do.
And he's thankful for any support the community can offer.
I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to hope to win Worlds in both hatchet and knives.
In Colorado Springs, Michelle Wells, Fox 21 News.
A best of luck to him for sure. It looks like a fun activity. I have not partaken in axe throwing yet, but I think I need to get out and do it sometime soon. All right, well, an act of sportsmanship in Arkansas goes viral with more than 500,000 views.
Sports is so much bigger than the wins and the losses, and that was on display this past Friday night in Ashdown when a moment that was bigger than the game happened, one that's now been put on a national stage.
Friday night marks senior night for the Ashdown Panthers, a night special for so many reasons. But Coach Roy Backus wanted to celebrate a certain senior, their team manager, Mekhi Lewis, or Man, as they call him, by getting him in the game.
Well, we've been talking about it. I've been trying to get him in the game. He's been kind of repping with us a little bit out there, some fundamentals, some skill stuff. I've been trying to get him in the game. He said, "Oh, not yet, man." He flicked his hand. He said, "It's just not ready yet." I said, "Well, you're there. I think you're ready to go."
So Friday night, the two teams concocted a plan.
Smack over, Coach Wallace and him said, "Coach, I'm going to get him a shot right on top." I said, "Sound good, Coach." All right, so we win the jump ball. Man's dribbling down there. So he goes to top of the key and the ball goes up. And the ball had a hard time even hitting the floor. Air ball.
Well, that didn't go according to plan, so the game goes on. And towards the end of the game, the student section was restless.
They started getting the old chant, man, we want man across the way. He's doing, no.
But Mekhi had another opportunity to get into the game. With about 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, he checked into the matchup.
I did after that one. I had to get my shot after that one. After every ball, I said, "Yeah, I'm getting one."
With less than 15 seconds to go, Mekhi had his chance, thanks to not one of his own teammates, but instead one of Smackover's.
And I just wanted to get the rebound and pass it to him to let him shoot.
And shoot he did, missing the first try.
He didn't make the first one, and I just wanted to keep letting him shoot until he made it. But I really wanted him to make that shot.
So Bryson got it to him again. Second try, no good. With 2 seconds left, he was able to get him the ball for one last shot.
I think he was going to make the last one. After I seen it leave his hands, I said, he going to make it.
And he did. The buzzer beater causing the entire student section to rush the court.
Everybody running toward it. I was like, oh my. And they were just screaming, like, "Oh, man, oh."
The biggest, even through the loss, it was one of the biggest moments of my life, just watching him and knowing the kind of character kid that he is.
After all the fanfare was over and the crowd had died down, Mekhi still had a job to do.
Tell Courtney what you done after you got all the hype and everybody's excited about you. What did you do? You went back to what?
Went back to being the manager, picking up waters, just doing the manager job.
On this specific night, though, cleaning up never felt so good.
Mekhi tells me that once he graduates in May, he hopes to attend the University of Arkansas in the fall, and he would love to be a part of the Razorback men's basketball team, but not as a player, no, instead as their team manager. So it's your move now, Coach Cal. We'll see if it happens. Let's send it back to you.
Oh, man, and the crowd went wild for sure. All right, well, don't you go anywhere here on Across America Good News Edition. When we return from break, we've got some animal-related stories to wrap up the show. I'll see you in a bit. Well, we experienced Valentine's Day this month, which means love is still in the air at least through the end of the month. Am I right? Well, one animal rescue in Indiana, they found a unique way to encourage animal adoption.
People have the chance to go on a speed dating event with cats and dogs alike as part of an upcoming adoption event. The event is this Saturday at Happy Tails Animal Rescue in Farmersburg. It is free and open to the public.
I was looking around and I saw a speed dating event, and I was like, that would be interesting to, you know, fill in the animals instead of people, because honestly, I'm tired of people. I don't want to deal with people. I'd rather deal with animals. And I was like, I'm sure there's tons of other people that want to do that too.
Each pet will have its own dating profile, and this will be just like a true speed dating event.
We're going to do 5-minute intervals, and of course, if somebody is still interested in an animal, they can take more time if they need. We really want them to go for their personalities, not the way they look.
An event like this can help spark the idea of getting a cat or dog into its forever home.
Even if people don't adopt, they think about that animal. You know, they go home and they're like, man, I really like that dog. So hopefully that will drive more adoptions, even if it's not immediate adoption. You know, it'll get that thought in their head like, hey, I should adopt.
This will help the animals that might not be seen as much get the chance to find that special someone.
We've had some animals that have been here for up to a year with no interest, no meet and greets, no applications, and we're really just trying to get people to see them.
Reporting in Farmersburg with Amelia, I'm Noah Gastineau for your local news leader.
Oh, the black cats. I used to have a black cat. He made it to 17 years old, so I definitely have a soft spot in my heart for the black cats. All right, everybody. Well, water rescues, especially in cold and ice, are difficult. But imagine if what you're trying to pull from the water was 1,200 pounds.
Common for emergency crews to get calls for rescues on frozen water, but Monday night on Edinburgh Lake, crews were called to save an unusual victim. Ernie, a 22-year-old horse, escaped his home and made his way out onto the frozen lake by Peninsula Park, where his legs fell through the ice.
We had to dig the mud out from underneath him, slide a harness around him, and then we had a rig rope to pull him out. He stood up and then fell back into the ice, so we had to do another secondary rescue.
The rescue process was far from easy. Once safely back on shore, Ernie took time to be able to stand back up on his own feet and then received care from Anna Shelter volunteers who were on scene.
He's doing okay. So we gave him a little bit of meds now, just inflammation. He's going to be pretty sore. And then we wrapped him in towels and blankets, and then we put another blanket on him, and he's eating hay now, and hay's the best thing to generate heat for their body. So that's a good thing.
As he was driven away, volunteers on scene were confident that the old horse was on the path to recovery. The Edinburgh Volunteer Fire Department is using this incident as a reminder that both horses and people should be cautious on frozen water.
It's the first horse for me, but we do training every year. At this point, the ice is rapidly deteriorating. You know, you need at least 4 inches of ice, and there's no such thing as safe ice. So definitely check the conditions before going out.
Jack Sable, Jet 24, Action News.
Oh, that horse is going to be okay. What incredible video there. All right, well, thank you for joining me for this episode of Across America Good News Edition. I shall be seeing you soon. I am one of the newest members here of the Nexstar Digital team, and I am so happy to be here. Going to be producing a lot more content, so I'll be seeing you soon.